Ever wonder if a postpartum belly wrap is worth it? Is it a hoax or do they actually work? It's hard to believe what you see in the ads that pop up on your phone and on social media, but as a physical therapist, I want to give you my honest opinion on whether or not postpartum belly wraps are worth your time and if it's worth your investment. I'm going to tell it to you straight and to talk to you like you are my friend. As a friend, if you are overwhelmed at the idea of wearing a postpartum belly wrap, a girdle, a corset, a belly binder, whatever you want to call it, I don't want you to be overwhelmed anymore. I'm here to make it simple for you to understand. You'll come out of today's episode knowing if a belly wrap is worth it or not. Let's go.
Are you finding it hard to keep up with the demands of motherhood because your energy is always low? Is your weak core holding you back from feeling strong and confident in your postpartum journey? Do you avoid looking in the mirror because you're not happy with what you see? Hey mama, welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast, where you'll learn how to reclaim your energy, strengthen your body after pregnancy, and finally say goodbye to the postpartum pooch in less time. Hi, I'm Dr. Jena, but you can call me Jena, and I'm a physical therapist, wife, and mom of 4 girls who has cracked the code on how to strengthen your core postpartum in the easiest and safest way possible. I too struggled with my postpartum fitness journey as a new mom, but now I'm stronger than ever, and I'm here to help you do the same without the stress, exhaustion, or struggle. If you're ready to fit fitness into your busy schedule while you navigate your postpartum journey and stay motivated along the way, then you're in the right place. It's all about progress, not perfection, and I'm here to help walk you through that journey to feeling strong, confident, and energized. That energy comes from within, not your coffee. Let's roll out that yoga mat, girl. It's time to do this.
I remember looking at my sister-in-law after she just had her set of twins, which actually were her 3rd and 4th babies, and thinking, wow, she looks absolutely amazing. How did she get such a flat stomach after having a total of 4 babies? So I asked her, how did you do it? She said she wore a postpartum belly wrap. Really, a postpartum belly wrap, that was it. I had no idea. All this time I had seen her, I never saw her wearing a postpartum belly wrap. And that was her answer. Simple as that. So when it came time to me having my first baby, she let me borrow her belly wrap. I was so grateful that she let me have it and I could use it when I had my first baby. And let me tell you, it was a game changer. In this episode, I'm going to tell you the 4 reasons why I love the postpartum belly wraps so much for postpartum healing. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you will fully understand that they are not a hoax, but they act as a tool to help speed up your recovery. Let's dive into the 4 main reasons why I love postpartum belly wraps so much and why you should too. All right, number 1, the first reason why I love postpartum belly wraps so much is because they act as a tactile cue. And what do I mean by that? I mean that belly wraps are an added tactile cue to your core to remind you to tighten your belly. And tightening your belly is what we're trying to do to strengthen our core muscles. So when we have that belly wrap wrapped around our body, it acts as a reminder that we need to tighten up while we're doing our activities throughout the day. If we're doing the dishes, if we are even just sitting at the kitchen table, you're going to feel that somewhat of a pressure around your belly, and it's going to remind you to activate your core muscles while you're sitting there or while you're standing there. So I love using it as a tactile cue throughout the day. Number 2, why do I love postpartum belly wraps so much? It's because they assist with the uterine contractions and they help the uterus to return back to its normal size. This is so important to understand. During pregnancy, your uterus has stretched out several times to its normal size, and then after giving birth, it will naturally contract back down to nearly its original size. This can take a few weeks. An added bonus is if you are nursing, your uterus will contract and go back to its normal size a little bit faster. But if you're not nursing, it can take longer. But with the belly wrap actually helps support the uterus and helps it to contract back down to its normal size quicker. This is the most important thing that I want you to get out of today's episode, is that it actually does help your uterus to shrink down faster. And thus, your postpartum pooch will shrink faster. Okay, so this is extremely beneficial and it actually does work. And this is why I love belly wraps so much. Number 3, the other reason why I love belly wrap so much is because it provides abdominal support. So along the same lines as what we just talked about, but now it gives abdominal support for those who've had a C-section, who have that injury from the incision from the surgery. Their muscles are so weak and they need that support because their muscles cannot hold in their organs as well as they used to. And the belly wrap acts as the support that you need when your muscles are too weak. The same goes for diastasis recti. When your muscles are too weak and you're having that gap and that separation in between your abdominal muscles in the middle of your belly, and you just don't have the strength yet, you can use the belly wrap to act as that support that you need at the beginning stages of healing. And even if you don't have diastasis recti, or if you didn't have a C-section, us moms who just had a baby have weakness in our core just from not being able to strengthen our abs throughout the 9 months of pregnancy. So just that weakness alone, we need that support for our backs and for our internal organs to keep everything in place. And the number 4 reason why I love postpartum belly wrap so much is because it helps with our posture. Again, we talked about the abdominal support and how it helps bring in the uterus and helps with the contraction, but it also helps with our posture. If we have lost our postural muscles throughout our pregnancy because of just a sedentary lifestyle as we got to the 3rd trimester, or just it was harder to work out in our 3rd trimester and our back muscles and our postural muscles got weaker, and now that we have our baby in our arms and we have that extra weight to hold, our posture starts to dwindle away. And we don't want that to happen. And again, our muscles are not strong enough to hold us up in the early stages of postpartum. And we can't really exercise that early on in postpartum. Remember, I've talked about the 6-week postpartum wait, where you can't do a full-blown exercise in that period of time. So if we can't strengthen our muscles early on, how are we going to get our posture back to normal again? And so this is a great time to rely on a postpartum belly wrap to help us with our posture when we're sitting, maybe when we're nursing, and when we're standing and walking around. Those tactile cues can remind us to sit up straight, to get our shoulders back, and just to stand up with our head positioned over our shoulders. We don't want that forward head posture. We want our head to be back and aligned with our shoulders. A quick tip for you is to think about if your ears are positioned over your shoulders. That's when you know that your posture is sort of aligned properly. So take a second right now and look at yourself in the mirror and turn sideways and to see if your head is forward or if it's in line with your shoulders. That's a great little tip for you to see how well your posture is as you go through postpartum recovery. So especially when we are so used to sitting at maybe a computer or looking at our phones, that posture of looking down at our phones can really take a toll on our body. But if you use that belly wrap and it's sort of uncomfortable to slouch in it, it's going to remind us to sit up straight. All right, I'm going to give you a bonus reason for why I absolutely love postpartum belly wraps. And of course, that has to do with self-confidence. This literally was the first reason why I got a postpartum belly wrap, because I was self-conscious about the way I was going to look in my postpartum newborn baby pictures. I took my newborn to the photo shoot at 10 days old, and I honestly did not want to have this pooch in the pictures, and I was like thinking, what can I do? And so I rushed to get that postpartum belly wrap from my sister-in-law for those pictures alone. And I just felt so good during that photo shoot when I was wearing the postpartum belly wrap. And again, it wasn't a perfect fix. It wasn't perfection. I'm not looking for that, but I just wanted to feel good for the pictures. And so I I highly encourage you to get a postpartum belly wrap for the simple sake of just feeling good, getting out in public. If you feel like that belly wrap makes you look and feel better, I would highly recommend getting the belly wrap for that reason. But I mean, there's so many other reasons, like I mentioned earlier, but this is also a bonus reason why I love postpartum belly wraps. Well, in this episode, I'm giving you a double bonus. So my other reason why I love postpartum belly wraps is the motivation it provides for us. So with everything that I've said, if you continue to wear your postpartum belly wrap, you will start seeing quicker progress. I'm telling you, the progress is so fast. And then you get that motivation and excitement to keep on going with your healthy postpartum fitness journey. So if you start seeing that your stomach is shrinking just simply by wearing the postpartum belly wrap, you're going to want to continue to strengthen your core and to keep working out and doing all the things that is going to help with your belly returning back to its normal size and normal strength. So I just love having the belly wrap as like a motivator to get you going towards reaching your goals faster. So I highly, highly, highly recommend getting the belly wrap simply for the fact of motivation, confidence, and all the other things. So let's go over all the other things that we talked about. Let's start at the beginning. Number 1 was tactile cues. Number 2, it assists with uterine contractions and helps your uterus to return back to its normal size. Number 3 was the abdominal support that the belly wraps provide. Number 4, it helps with your posture. The bonus benefit was self-confidence and improving the way you feel and think about yourself. And the double bonus reason was motivation. So I hope you're motivated right now to go get one. And if you're like me and you're like, yes, I want to get a belly wrap right now, then I want to recommend getting yourself a Belly Bandit belly wrap. These are the #1 ranked belly wraps on the market. And Belly Bandit is the premier FDA registered medical device brand in maternity and postpartum support products. They're no joke. They're the real deal. Their products are the most comfortable and seamless. Trust me, that's what I wore, and I absolutely loved it. And I've worn different products, and I still go back to recommending the Belly Bandit. I loved how they looked under my clothes. Like really, you couldn't even tell I was wearing one, and people never noticed I was wearing it. Like I would be out in public wearing my belly wrap, and people would start complimenting me on how my belly looked. And I just was honest with them. I was like, yeah, I'm actually wearing a belly wrap. They're like, oh, I had no idea. So seriously, like you can't even tell that you're wearing them if you get a Belly Bandit. Some of the other products out there are a little bit bulkier and thicker, and you can notice them under your clothes, but the Belly Bandit is shaped really nicely. I am an affiliate, so if you do decide to buy a product from Belly Bandit, I do get a small commission from the purchase, but I especially love the Luxe out of the Belly Bandit company. Their Luxe product is by far the best, but all of their belly wraps really do work the same. It's just whether it fits better on you or the shape, and then there's a different cost for all the different products. But if you have any questions about the Belly Bandit products and you're not sure which one to pick, you can DM me on Instagram at Live Core Strong, or you can contact me on my blog, livecorestrong.com, on the contacts page. However way you want to contact me is fine. I am more than open to having a discussion with you about which product is best for you. And everything to Belly Bandit is linked below in the show notes, so you can connect to Belly Bandit through my link. And again, I would get a small commission. But like I said, I've tried many products, and the Belly Bandit products are by far my favorite. The company as a whole is excellent with customer service, so I highly recommend you go that way. All right, well, that's all for today's episode. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and remember to live core strong.
Hey mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It would bring me so much joy. Simply scroll down to the stars and click Write a Review. Your review will help more women discover our podcast. Let's grow this fit mom movement together. And if you want your friends to come alongside you on this postpartum fitness journey, invite them to our free Facebook group where you can get motivated together. Community is key to success, and that's what I want for you. So join ours by going to the link in the show notes, and before you know it, the baby weight will be falling off as quickly as those stinky diapers. I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast.